Game 1. Alright, Lost and Found. This is a map that comes up a lot in this tournament because it is quite standard in terms of the distances between bases, how easy it is to take a third and a fourth and a fifth. The rush distance is pretty normal. There isn't really too much that's particularly exceptional about the map. And I think a lot of pro players opt for that. Okay, so this is different already. He went for a 16 pool. 16 pool here, and then he'll go for a 17 hatch. So this allows him to make some early lings. He makes one more drone. And then he'll bank up 3 larvae. And make lings. Lings. 6 lings and a gas. So trying to go quickly for that 16 out of 16. And then we can see the next Overlord going outside the third base area. Let's see the path of the lings. Where are these lings going? He's sending them kind of down and in. So he's the caliber of player who would know what the Reaper paths look like. He's not really going that far around, which is interesting. First queen injects, second queen on the way. He's making drones now. Let's see what he can get done with these 6 lings. So this is an opening that's pretty similar to Hatch First. The main difference is it can put the Terran in an icky situation when they expect to be getting some work done with the Reaper, and then they have to go all the way back home. He didn't do this against Kelazur at all, so it's kind of his way to add some build order diversity. But it's not all in, it's a very small commitment, it's just 6 lings. And then he's doing the normal stuff, ling speed. I think he may be pulling a couple workers off gas. Ooh, HeroMarine is in a really bad spot. Really bad spot, losing multiple workers. He got the scout at the starport as well. That was basically the dream. The dream for this level of player. One thing that's noteworthy too is the area where the add-ons are going to be made. Terran buildings always have the add-ons kind of on the bottom right of the building. So the add-on was here, which meant it was exposed to lings. If the spawns were reversed and the building was here, the add-on would be there. So it wouldn't be exposed to the lings, and that build would not be quite as good. So you do have a little bit of build strength related to spawns in StarCraft, especially when a Terran is involved. So that kind of requires both players to be aware of that. For the Terran, they have to kind of know, I'm going to be more vulnerable to that kind of build with this spawn. Or for Zerg, I can exploit that. Same exact thing, he's drone in super fast, making queens, not being supply blocked ever. And then Lair and a Roach Warren. Oh, he's going Bane Nest. What made him decide to do a Bane Nest this time? It may just be that he's so far ahead. I don't think he has any specific reads that it's bio. Did he see the third CC? He did not. He also may just kind of do stuff like, I want to play Banes this time. It might not be specifically related to some information. The Bane Nest does allow you to drone up a little bit harder. It costs some gas, but it costs 1 less drone worth of minerals. There also may be some metagame value here. So that Spore is pretty close to 5 minutes. There might be some metagame value in that maybe he knows that HeroMarine is better with bio than with mech. So he may opt for the Bane Nest just to kind of move forward into the Ling Bane whatever faster. So he's going for Bane speed before Evo upgrades. That's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Really? He doesn't have an Evo? He's making drones. I don't think he would forget them. Now he's getting evos. I wonder if he's going to use that offensively in some way. It's possible he could forget. It's not a super punishable mistake. Like, a lot of fights really aren't decided based on upgrades, and because his 6-ling attack earlier was so effective, it's kind of like, maybe he made that mistake, but people aren't really going to care because he's still in a really strong position. It's not like HeroMarine can hit a 1-1 timing and kill him. So yeah, he's not really making Banes. Hydroden, 1-1 melee, Overlord speed. He's making Lings at 63 drones. So notice that amount, 60 to 63, against both Kelazur and against HeroMarine on this map. One of them was mech, one of them was bio, but in both situations he makes a big round of units at around 60 to 62 workers. That's going to give him a lot more potential to defend these big attacks. There are a lot of Marine tank timings that try to snipe a Zerg's 4th. So I would guess that's what this round of units is for. Did he get Groove Spines first? I don't think he did. Where's the upgrades button? This one. No, he didn't get Groove Spines. Oh. So 75 drones. Now he can get maxed. He's in a super strong spot, 5th base. He's going for an Overseer Scout. Sees the Marine Medivac. Easily defended with his huge army. Contaminate. Nice. Yep, the siege tank is the important unit here. And that process is being delayed. He should do a creep wave, yep. More Lings, Hydra speed. Super strong. Good. With this production, he can tell that HeroMarine is going to be Marine heavy. Go and RP or... Whoop. There are a lot of those opportunities that even the best players leave open, because you can't focus on everything at once. So if you have some pretty dangerous stuff like Speed Banes, you can catch a lot of those draw plays off guard. We're just in a race to 200 supply now. I don't think he's going to drone too far past 75. 83. So I guess a little bit past that. We saw Rogue. Who was he beating up on? Rogue was beaten up on, I think, Innovation. With just loads of Banes. Tons and tons of Banes. So he's got his 5th base mining, taking his 6th base. There's a bunch of units over here. What's this? Just a bunch of Lings. 33 Lings on a hotkey. Keeping the Lings there, he'll probably wait. If he sees a full army commitment, he can send those into the natural. And one of the risks, it's not a huge risk, but there could be some air units that fly over that location and spot him. So he's got a big army, but not big enough that he can just push in and wreck the base, but enough that he can contest an opponent's move out. Oh, there was some stuff by that Ling main group. What was it? This creep spread is just out of control. Oh, but the queens got picked off. Hive is almost done. 2-2 is almost done. 2 more queens being made because he lost his creep spread queens. Ultra Cavern Spire Gas. Kind of all going down together. A couple more Hydras, Adrenal Glands. Yep, this is just kind of doing the basics. Powering up. He knows Terran is still on 3 bases, so it's kind of like you can't really do much. Oh, and now we have the army move out, so he uses this counterattack group on its own hotkey. Lings go into the natural. He's going to send the Banes to the 3rd. Sees the tank, so he pulls them back behind the worker line. Adding Banes, making 2 Vipers. Couple workers, nice. Where is tanks gonna go? Offense, defense? So his next fight should be Ling Bane Hydra Viper. These tanks are trying to hit before the Ultra transition. He doesn't have Ultras. Fall back. Still just making Ling Bane. Viper's getting energy. Spire is done. 76 Lings in the production tab. Inject, inject, inject. Look at the supply. It's just not enough. That's it. He was in a really, really, really strong position from that 6 Ling play, though. Which, like I was saying, was a spawn-specific choice. Because the add-on is exposed for that spawn. Acid Plant. Ladder Edition. Acid Plant. Let's see. Through the eyes of the champion. Serral, what does he do here? This is one of those add-on exposed situations. Pool first or hatch first? He hasn't done any one-base Ravager. He hasn't done any, I would say, risky builds. He's been going for builds that are going to be consistently potential to deal some damage, or either really safe. It's not a particularly dangerous early game for Serral. No 13-12s, no proxy hatch silliness. Just 17 pool or 17 hatch. I think he went 16 hatch here. I'm not 100% certain on his decision to go for 16 hatch on some maps, whereas other times he goes 17 hatch. The difference between the two is fairly small. It's not really going to be changing your win rate too much. You just get the creep out a little bit sooner with the 16 hatch. 2 queens, 4 lings, ling speed, pull 2 off gas. Is that it? There's the add-on. There's a drone over there hidden. So you can defend this Reaper with the queen, ling, and then you can go over and take the 3rd. When he knows the Reaper is as natural. He sent that pretty far away. Takes the 3rd base right around 3 minutes. He did the tumor in the main this time. There's a lot of room in the main. Oh, whoa. Did he do double tumor? No, he ended up ejecting. Okay. So he injected and laid the tumor at the natural. 3rd queen is up. 4th queen is on the way. So he's making 1 queen at a time. Another overlord. So now he needs to find out what is the opening. What did we see here with the overlord? Okay. Factory reactor, so I'm guessing the good old trusty lair in a roach warren. There are 4 lings on the opponent's side of the map. Just kind of hidden. He may try to send those in. He's making 6 more lings. And another queen. He sees stim. So this means it's bio. If it's bio, he may go Bane Nest instead of a roach warren. Or he may just not even take a Bane Nest. 2 Cyclones now for HeroMarine. Interesting. But he doesn't know that. All he knows is that there was some stim research, a Marine, a couple Hellions. So he's going lair. Moving the tech along. Spore in the main. Double Evo now. Double gas. And a roach warren. So he took the double gas roach warren when he had full mineral saturation at the natural. He has 50 workers now. 50 workers going up to 3 gases. Still making 7 drones. He sees the double engineering bay. Double engineering bay is saying, I want a macro, a bio game. Usually they're not going to all in with double engineering bay. Double anything upgrades doesn't really shine until 2-2. You can do some work with 1-1 sometimes, but if you really wanted to kill the opponent early, you would just go for single engineering bay or evo or no upgrades. He's going roach speed, range attack 1. Really fast fourth base. He probably knows that's safe because of the double engineering bay. So 1-1 for biostim, marine tank. He's going to want to break those rocks by the fourth base here pretty soon, probably. Nope, free Hellions? Nope. Nope, would have been nice, didn't get him. 9 roaches, double ups. Now he's making units. Is this at the same spot? Oh, this is 68 supply. Or 68 workers. It's a pretty key moment in the game, knowing when to make units as opposed to drones. Here he's making them a little bit later, but he did have quite a few lings on the map. Cool double cyclone there. So hold position on the lings. Didn't really get much. But it's that awareness that my roaches are coming out now, so my lings are offense. He's really fluid with switching the roles of his units. A lot of times people will have lings and then they're making roaches and they just have their army and just at rest. Whereas he's really looking around with his lings. He puts them on that separate hotkey. He's trying to look for pickups. He's playing against really high tier pro players, so they're not really going to give him a whole bunch of opportunity to deal damage, but he still needs to represent the threats. Finds a pretty good angle against the Hellions. That's a good pickup. Now he's just going for a huge Roach Ravager push with 1-1. He's maxed. The tank count shouldn't be super high here. There's one in siege mode, another one gets sieged up. He puts 3 biles on one tank and then the other one's on the Marines. The lings are going over at the third. Man, that is awesome. How much value he squeezed out of those lings. So the lings got some scouting. They beat the Hellions in a fight on the map. And then they went into the third and they're killing the workers. And now he's dropping biles on the engineering base. Mass and roaches, even bringing the queens. Sweet. Thank you, Jason, for the host. We're looking at Serral versus HeroMarine from WCS. Super cool. So we saw first 2. Let's do the final one. Hello. Thanks for the host and the support. This will be the last one for this series. Once again a 3-0, but this isn't about, oh, who's going to win. I'm not casting these. We're looking at what advantages he's taking. Why is he so good? What is he doing? And so far, it's very clear that he is quite fond of using Queen Ling to defend pressure early on. He sometimes throws in a 17 pool as opposed to a 16 or 17 hatch. He pulls 2 workers off gas after Ling speed for a mineral boost. Tries to get ahead, stay ahead. And then in the mid game, he's really good at knowing when to make units to have a really strong army presence on the map and how to relegate some harassment groups. Kick some butt. He's using both overlords to scout for proxy here, instead of sending it straight across the map to see if there's a base. That's cool. Droning up to 20 with an overlord, and then 2 queens, 4 lings, ling speed. Ragnarokette, thank you for the host. Ling speed, 2 off gas. Same stuff. So this is his go-to build. Send a drone, hide it from the Reaper. Keep it secret, keep it safe. Oh, he just went for the base. It's a little bit earlier. The Reaper seems like it was kind of late. Oh. Oh. That's interesting. So he's dropped the tumor here at the natural multiple times. And he lost it one time, and the Reaper got away. But 2 other times, he ended up killing the Reaper because of this choice. So this kind of creates an interesting moment in the game. I don't try this, so it's interesting to see how this plays out. The Reaper wants to kill the tumor, right? Because the tumor gains value over time every time it spreads. But the Reaper can gain value too by trading out some of its HP. So he seems to be pretty confident in that it's a good trade to drop the tumor and try to kill it with the queen and 4 lings, as opposed to doing a double inject. So he knows there are Hellions. He's going Roach Warren, double gas. Making another queen, 2 more lings, 4 more lings, and a lair. Roach Warren, gases, and a lair. And a queen. Inject creep spread. Fill the gases. He didn't really get a thorough scout, so he's going Overlord speed. Cool. 4 Hellions. HeroMarine's going 2 Cyclones, but he does not know that. There's also Cloak. Roach Warren is done, making 4 more lings. So he has the roach option, but he's not making any roaches just yet. He made 4 Overlords, which is pretty good if you want to make roaches. 1 spore at 4 minutes 38. He sees the Viking. What does that tell him? He's making 6 roaches now. 7 roaches now. That's a lot of roaches. Uh-oh, it's a drop Overlord for the queens. He's gonna attack. He's gonna attack with the queens. Do you know what this means? 3 queens on a plane. He sees the Cyclones. He says, heck it, I'm attacking you. Those Cyclones are defensive units. There's a Banshee. It's time. So this is a Roach Queen Ling attack with 40 drones. He has saturation at the natural with 2 gas. He has Overlord speed. Putting the Lings in the Overlord now. So fluid. Wow. Wow. It was for the queens, but now it's for Lings in the main. Now he's pressuring this. He's massing Lings behind, so this is pretty committed. It's not just light pressure. Making another Overlord. Lings dropped in the main. He sees its bio with the research on the barracks. Ravager Roach. There's no Roach speed. Lings coming up. The Lings went into the mineral line. He didn't even look at him. Maybe they got some work done. But this is the big event here. The main event. Roach Ravager Ling Queen. He's pushing in. A lot of SCVs got killed there. 19. And the base was forced to lift off and fly back some. 14 more Lings. And let's make a Bane Nest and drone now. Oh no. He decided not to make a Bane Nest. I guess we drone. A lot of Lings. And then we're in the Queen Drones gear. Single Evo and a Bane Nest. Yes, a lot of gas. Where's it gonna go? Let's make some drones. Burrow. That's cool. Nope, cancel the burrow. Make queens. Burrow in the main. That's cool. More drones. He's a little bit up in supply. He doesn't really need to scout, and he scouted with that hugely committed attack. So he knows that it was like a make some factory units and then get into bio kind of opening with 3 bases. So if I had to guess, he would probably go up to 60 something and then start massing units again. What do we got? Nope, he's making units now at like 55. Carapace and Bane speed. Burrow's halfway done. The bases are always injected, except for when he pulls the queens to attack for a huge road Ravager timing. Gas is at the third. Queen's trying to focus on Medivac. Lots of Lings. So the Roach Ravager stuff wasn't really committing him in the Roach Tech path. He made a bunch of units, but they basically fulfilled their mission by killing a bunch of workers. 2 more Queens. Look at how much stuff is in the production tab. 4th base, he's expanding forward, which is interesting. That's his way of saying, I am the aggressor this game. You can attack me, but I have tons of stuff and you will die. But I am attacking you. Going for melee now. Hydra speed. He's been going for Hydra speed more than ranged. You get both upgrades, but a lot of people ask, what do you get first? He's been getting the Hydra speed upgrade first. Is he gonna attack with this now? No. No, he's just letting HeroMarine know whose town this is. This is my town. Finland, Finland, Finland. That's the country for me. Okay. And Bane. Ling Bane versus Marines. Ling Bane can't kill him because he can just lift off. 4th base. Ooh. De burred bombas. It's gonna lose a queen there. Nice pickup. So Hydra speed. A little bit of a supply block. Whoops. Whoops. Even gods get supply blocks sometimes. Groove spines right away. Once the range is done. Spread to creep. Spread to creep. Take a base and spread to creep. Killing the rocks means that he can take better engagements later on in the game. Kill the rocks. He's working on them. So now he made a big round of units at how many drones? 72, but he's making more drones, 7 more. There was a scan, so now HeroMarine knows that Burrowed Banes are not just a possibility, but they are on the map. So there's a little bit of psychological value, right, in having some Burrowed Banes. It's more of a game of trades. How much are they willing to scan as they're moving out? He's watching it. That's good. That's good. Oops. Not a full wall off. So he has those 20 lings on hotkey. It looks like more than 20. 22. So he's making lings. 2-2 is going. He's behind in supply here. But the Burrowed Banes make this a really dicey situation. And he has quite a few live Banes in his army. 37 with 10 more on the way. So the supply is a little bit deceptive. Because Banes are very value dense for their supply amount. So he has tons of workers here. Tons of Banes. +2 armor is almost done. Let me just go. Just gonna go. So he clicks below the army to get a better spread. This has been the most even game so far. HeroMarine did take a decent bit of damage, but most of the infrastructure was still intact, so he's getting to be on the offense. The next round of units comes out. Queens and Hydras are fighting. And notice he did have Banes morphing behind that engagement, so we can fall back on those. Nice, he burrowed the Queens to keep him alive. To fight again. And then unburrows when the Banes are ready. Wow. Wow. Transfuses. Gets value from that queen energy. He's making Lings and Banes. +2 melee is about done. +2 Carapace is done. So he pulled all the queens for that. Now he's going to send him back. Go inject the bases. Go inject. Go inject. We have 78 drones. We need larvae. So he's making Hydroling Bane. 8 Hydras, 3 Banes. 18 Lings, 4 Creep Tumors. Being the Necro God. Look at that creep wave on the left. And the right. Here we go. He's really prioritizing the mineral income. He's only on, what, 5 gases right now? But he has about 5 bases of mineral income, which is awesome. You could just keep trading Ling Bane over and over again. Doesn't even matter. Oh. This may be the way the Terran dies. This may be the way people subscribe. 6th base and a hive. Yeah, so he's been staying lower tech for a really long time this game. It's kind of part of the game plan. Thank you for the subscription. Lings and Banes just pumping out tons of units. Being really mobile. Zerg has kind of a weak point whenever they're getting into that Ultra transition, and part of this approach involves just staying on the lair tech stuff for a really long time. So a lot of those timings that Terran could go for would just get totally smashed. Just mass Hydra Bane. Yeah, this is the same thing that Rogue did. Not precisely the same game plan overall, but the same theme of a really drone heavy Hydroling Bane, like Bane heavy mid-game against Terran. Just beating him up. I mean, he had Hive as something to fall back on, but it wasn't part of his win condition. Sweet. Well played, Serral the God. Thanks for all the hosts and stuff. This is the last stream until I go on holiday. I will do IRL stream while I'm out and about.